Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today, I'm super excited. I think our first request to do a Aristocrats reaction. I think Alexia and we have done one song on the channel, and as you can see, I am wearing a t-shirt which we bought. I bought one for myself, and Alexia bought one for herself because we went to see the Aristocrats here in Denver, which was the only city in the United States where they played two shows. So I'm sure that it's because, you know, Denver receives jazz and fusion very well, and you know, people that come here that play this kind of music, they know. So it was really nice, and we caught them on the second night. So there weren't too much people because of the first night was pretty full, and it was amazing. Now, how do I know of the Aristocrats? I'm not an expert. I haven't listened to everything. I've heard more of Guthrie. I usually say Guven, but I know it's Govin, or I don't know. Everybody has their own way of pronouncing his name. But no, this is a trio. This is not about Guthrie. And we were like, because Alexia is she's like a fanatic of Guthrie, and he is her favorite guitar player, and she's not into shredders or fusion. But for some reason, like the stuff he plays on that first album, Erotic Cakes, just like takes her breath away, especially that song called Waves. And there was this pause. They played for about 45 minutes, and then they were gonna take a little break, and then Alexia went straight to talk to the bass player, which is a fantastic guy, very, very nice person. And she was like, oh, blah, 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 and talking about the bass, and, you know, what would you recommend, you know, to do? And I mean, he was talking about his influences. Now, we might even get him on the show. I do have to look up his name in a second. I will, but just to tell you real quick. And then she was like, are you guys gonna play Waves? And he's like, no, that's Guthrie's material. As Aristocrats, we only play our compositions. So as you know, on the drums is the amazing Marcus, what's his last name? Let me just, let me pull up the band, and then we're gonna react to the Aristocrats. But I mean, he's from Germany. As you can see, I'm not really prepared to do this video because I just like to, press play and then see what happens. So, we got Guthrie Govin, we got Brian Beller, that's the guy that Alexia was talking to, and I also talked to him a little bit. We wrote to him, sent him an email, and he was like, guys, I'm super busy, I'm on tour, I can't really do an interview, but let's talk about it. And then I'm talking about, of course, Marker Miniman on the drums. So these three guys were just mesmerizing. I mean, they played a lot of stuff that I did know, a lot of stuff I didn't know, because I do remember having Culture Clash, and I think that was it. That's the only CD that I had. And this is a request. Now we're gonna get to the good stuff. This is a request from ERIK, from Queens. The ERIK that I met in Germany, in Munich. We ran into each other. Not really ran into each other. He was more like, hey guys, I like your channel, bye. We never really saw him. And we've done some reactions now for him, especially myself, and it's just awesome, the stuff. So I'm super stoked to do some Aristocrats. And this song, I don't know this. This is called Furtive Jack, from their debut album. This came out in 2011. And for you guys that love prog rock or jazz fusion, it is more jazz fusion, but it's also very proggy. And these guys obviously grew up on progressive music and and jazz. But let me read really quickly here what ERIK wanted to share with me and the channel. So it says here, hey Nick, thanks for the Marcus King reaction. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. It's wonderful. It's this guy has an amazing band and is an amazing guitar player. I had a feeling that he would be right up your alley, and yes, of course. As some other subscribers mentioned, he also has a great singing voice. I intended to bundle the instrumental tune with some vocal performances as part of a marathon, but since that choice wasn't available, I bumped it up the list for a solo reaction. I'm so sorry. I will be releasing marathons. It's just like there's so much to do right now with work and then the channel, the Spanish channel, and just family stuff. So I was just like, I will do marathons. I promise. And I'll let you all know. It's literally available on Buy Me a Coffee, but it's just I haven't activated them. So, but they will be back, okay? Now it says here also, welcome, also awesome to hear you and Lex went to see Beaten. Oh my lord. I caught them in October at the Beacon. They put on quite a show. I first heard King Crimson when they were opening for Tool on the Lateralis tour. Wow. Lateralis. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, by the time the tour got to New York and I went to see them, the opener was Mike Patton's Tomahawk. Oh, here we are 22 years later, and I get to see Danny Carey playing King Crimson with Baloo, Levin, and Vi. Awesome. Yes. I mean, we were just mind blown. My latest request is a song by the Aristocrats. It's a relatively new band that I only recently discovered. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. So it's almost like I think I know I've known them longer since you do. Because this is just like my style of music. Now I haven't really listened to the Aristocrats. I know of them, and I'm super stoked that they almost have all their, I think this is all their stuff on Spotify. So that's kind of cool. Now, obviously as a reaction channel, I'm not gonna like just dive in head first. I would love to. But there's this new album which is called Duck. But we're going to go all the way back to the first album, The Aristocrats. And that one, let me see if I know some songs that maybe I remember. Bad Asteroid, I do remember because they played that at the show. And Flatlands, yeah, they also played that at the show. And it was so cool because every time, and between every song, they would explain what the song means, why does it have the name. It just was a hilarious event, and Guthrie is such a well-spoken fella, and he's so English, I love it, and he's just like very good at telling stories. So I'm sure you would agree with me, Eric, on that. So without further ado, longest intro in history, but hey, that's the channel, if you like that, give the channel a like, subscribe, or give it a thumbs down, whatever you like. We're gonna listen to some music, but you also need to talk about the artists. I don't understand reaction channels as I was like, oh, today I'm gonna listen to Sting, play, and they listen to the song and like, that was amazing, bye. That's for me doesn't hold any value. I'm sorry. So yeah, and there's just too many channels out there like that, and not to I know you guys don't watch those channels, but there's a lot of people that watch those channels and then they come to our channel expecting the same, and they're like, you guys talk too much, like, okay, well, if you don't like the talking, why are you watching the person reacting to the music, right? So Furtive Jack is the song. Here we go, and enjoy, and we'll break it down. Here we go. That reggae here. It's just like, you know, these guys are on a different level, honestly. It's just, I mean, Guthrie here, just the way he works the tone, the guitar, it's almost like he's like messing with us a little bit. I love it. The little, you know, things he does, the scratching, the strings, the little taps. I mean, the way he plays, so amazingly clean, and then it's also there's a lot of switching up the pickups. You know, there's a lot of bridge, and there's a lot of neck playing, and you can hear it. You know, he's very focused on creating different sounds. I love how he goes from like playing a really fast scale into a chord, and he lets it ring. That's such a beautiful thing that a lot of guitar players, a lot of lead guitar players don't really do, you know, to play chords between or in their solos. And he's such a master, man. He's such an amazing player. And actually the first time I heard Guthrie was on this, there was this promotional CD of all these shredders, and it had Greg Howe on it, and TJ Helmrich, Brett Garsett, and Richard Hallebeek. I think there was some Alan Holdsworth on there, just all these fusion legends. And Guthrie was like very up and coming, I think, during that time when that was released. But I remember that there was like a demo version of Waves on there, and that was the first time that I heard him. But I really didn't think too much about it because I was so obsessed with the others like Richie Kotzen and Greg Howe and, you know, Frank Gambale. And these are all players that I've been listening to for years, since like 2005, 2006. That's the music that I was listening to. Pretty much all instrumental jazz, guitar music, and also all this music is inspired by horn players, by trumpet players, sax players. That's why these guys play the way they play, you know. This is not really... Yes, there's also some blues element of guitar players, jazz players, guitar jazz players, and guitar blues players, but honestly, these players are mostly influenced by horn players. But yeah, the drums, man, I mean, Marco, I mean, I still don't know why he didn't get the gig with Dream Theater. But, you know, Dream Theater picked Mike Mangini at the time. I think he's an amazing player, Mike, but Marco would have been also amazing. And the man here that we're talking about, the bass player, my memory is like horrible, but we had a little chat with him. Super nice guy, Brian Beller, and let's hope for an interview. But let's keep going with this. Just like everybody, I mean, I love the reggae at the beginning, you know. Everybody is so on like top level of musicianship, you know. So it's just like, if you can catch these guys live, like, go for it. It's like, you will not, even if you don't like this kind of music, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like what you see. So let's continue. And the bass. These chords. Beautiful bass chords. more like a ska. Wow, just amazing. I love how this tune has a little bit of a detective vibe, you know, a little bit of a like, you know, these old like I don't know if it was like Inspector Clouseau. I don't think it was Inspector Clouseau, but it has like this, I don't know if you're into video games, every time you play something set in the like 60s, you get that kind of music, you know. It has like this era, you know, it has a specific sound, this era. And I've experienced it through, like, there was this game called Evil Genius set in the 60s, and it had like scales like this and chords that very I think the world is jangly, like, you know, you hear it ringing, and like a James Bond kind of like vibe, you know. It's amazing how he was even able to change the time signature within the scale. When he was improvising, he played like, you know, he changed literally the time signature of the time that he was playing in. I don't know if you guys noticed, but, and it's so cool because Brian is doing something totally different. He's like playing like literally like this jazz, like, it's not a bass walk, it's more like an improvisation over, he's going along with Marco, you know, they're doing their own thing. It's almost like a jazz trio, but rock, you know. And that's just, you know, that's, I'm gonna be so bummed if people don't watch this, not because I don't make anything out of this. Honestly, we don't make any money with videos, but I just made a video with one of the most amazing guitar players that has ever walked this earth, Pat Martino. And to this day, it has 300 views. Why? Like, what's wrong? Like, people, don't you like jazz? 316 views. Released, okay, 2 days ago. But I mean, in the same 2 days, I released videos and they have like 8,000 views. And I even like try to be clickbaity as hell. One of the greatest guitar players in jazz. Why? What is so like, why? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave this blank so people are curious to click on it. Or I will come up with something clickbaity, like, if you don't listen to this, you'll regret it forever. Something like that. I have to do like stuff like that Rick Beato does, like, it's over. Oh my God, what's over? What's over? You know, that's how people click on videos. But if you put like beautiful jazz guitar, oh God, I'm not interested, you know? So it's really difficult. With this kind of music, it's really difficult to get people. And because once you hear it, people are going to love it. So that's like the thing. This tune was just ridiculous. It's beautiful. I'm going to send it to a couple of friends right now. That don't watch the channel, not because they don't like it, they don't have the time, but I'm sure they're gonna love the song. So I already know 2 candidates who are gonna love this, and Alexi is gonna freaking love this. Yeah, and I mean, if you ever see Aristocrats in your city, go just watch them. You will not be sorry. It's an amazing event, beautiful music, beautiful musicianship, great stories. It's funny, it's hilarious. play with rubber like ducks and stuff and make noises and interact with the crowd. It's hilarious. It's super good. It's like something that's super special. So I can't recommend it enough. Well, again, this, I mean, just musically, this is just off the charts. There's like nothing to say that hasn't been said by, you know, critics or whatever. But I mean, for me, this is there's like a couple of super groups on this earth, and like the Aristocrats is one of them. Beat is another one. Beat, I hope they stay together at least, you know, to record a new album. I know they're almost in. I mean, Tony Levin is almost in his 80s. He's 78 years old. Adrian Belew is 74. Steve Vai 64, and Danny Carey is 63. So they're all, you know, they're you know, older guys. So it's kind of, I don't know how they do this to keep this up, you know. Yesterday we went to see, for example, King Diamond. The man is in his like late 60s. Amazing show. Just like the stage, it looked like this was like almost like being at a theater. They had props and actors and light effects, and it was like literally being in a haunted house with music, and he still does his high pitched like falsettos. Amazing, beautiful. But I mean, I just like, it must be hard to be in your like almost in your 80s and to be touring around the country. So I hope they do at least an album, because Beat is an amazing concept and it's an amazing lineup. I mean, I think the last time I saw something as amazing was Terry Bozzio, Tony Levin, and Steve Stevens when they did Black Light Syndrome. By the way, if you want to listen to that, it's on Spotify. It's amazing. They recorded it in about 3 days. A masterpiece, supergroup. And then we have Liquid Tension with Tony Levin as well. He's like in all the super bands. We have the Winery Dogs. And I think there's a project that I don't know if that's still going, but it was going, which was called something with Joe Satriani and the vocalist, the second vocalist of Van Halen, also very like super group. So yeah, I mean, you know, when you have this kind of thing happening, go watch it. It's really amazing. You know, because we don't know how long this is gonna be around for, you know, and everything comes like AI and digital, and nobody plays their instruments anymore. So while we can still see them, and I could literally touch Guthrie's boot if I wanted to, I obviously didn't, because we were so close to him, you know. So I was just looking at the fretboard, and he's a wizard, and he literally looks like Gandalf. He's an amazing guy. So again, thank you so much for this, Eric, for this amazing request. This is the music that I live for, honestly. Thank you so much for requesting this, because this is something that I guess, you know, there's a couple of guitar players I would like to interview. We already have one possible candidate of Steely Dan fame. It's a surprise. I think I've talked about it, but I don't want to give it away. And he's just right now, he doesn't have the time, but he already said yes. So, yeah, we're going to interview a Steely Dan guitar player. And he's probably on the most popular song that Steely Dan ever wrote. So you're going to see that once he has the time. And yeah, I'm super excited, but that's going to be a surprise. Thank you so much again for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Eric, for sponsoring this video. Thank you. And I'll see you all in the next one.